Okay, I've got a red Electra 110 today, and I'm going to do a tutorial. Now, this is not the original color, but I'm just going to do a tutorial because we don't get the, I don't think I've got one for the 110 yet. Normally we get the 120, which is a longer carriage, but today I have a 110. Now, this one isn't in... it's in good condition, but it's not pristine, but it's still gonna be good to show you how to use an Electra 110. So, like I said, it's got a 10-inch carriage instead of a 12-inch. And we've got a paper holder. Voila. We've got margins. You press and drag, okay? Everything is manual except for, well, I shouldn't say that. Compared to a computer, everything is manual, but this one still needs to be plugged into the wall. It's got a manual return, but you need to turn it on. You can hear the motor before you type. And there's no chargers, there's no batteries, so this is not what I would consider portable, though it does come with a case with a handle, so if you absolutely wanted to take it somewhere, you could. It's just pretty heavy to schlep around, if you ask me. So this is gonna be something that you're gonna kind of stay put in place on a table somewhere, on a desk or something. I mean, you could probably, it's light enough where you could lift it, put it in the case, and have it sitting to the side of the desk if you wanted, but it is heavier than portable manual typewriters. Okay. And it's considered a portable electric. All right, so carriage release is the lever behind your handles. Now this one only has the right side, the left side is broken, though, and I've mentioned this on other videos. It is common for these levers to break, but there's the thing right there, and you can still push it in. I'll move it, I'll set it down and then push it in. We have seen people put sticks on there and other things just to get the leverage to pull that in, because you need that leverage. We've seen pen caps, I've seen spoons. So I've seen different things put on there for leverage to pull that carriage release in if you want it on this side, but it doesn't matter which side you have it on. So this one is missing the left side, but yours should have both, but it is common for one of or both of these to be missing. Okay, sorry, I keep hitting this. This is your platen. Your paper is gonna go right here, so you just set that right in there. You turn the handle and you make sure it goes underneath this metal bar. Put that bar down. I always come up, and you can see I loaded this like super duper crooked. So to get that straight, you pull forward this paper release. It releases the tension, so now I can straighten it out. Engage, voila. Okay, there's a paper guide here too if you want it to help, but that's up to you. Okay, also now on the left side you'll see 1, 2, and 3. That's for when you hit the return handle, if it's going to advance 1 line, 2 lines, or 3 lines, depending on how you want that set. Also, when you turn the handle, you can hear it click. That is, it clicks every half of a line, which is wonderful. However, sometimes you're like, oh no, it's not lining up just where you want it, and you wish, oh, I could kind of click in between those lines. Well, we've got a nice little fancy button over here on the left side. Just press that button, and oh, the clicks are gone. That basically frees up the plate, so you can kind of get things lined up exactly where you want. Once you release that button, then everything is engaged. All right, so now I am gonna move the carriage. Oh, first of all, so there's your bell. You're gonna hear a bell when you get to the end of your margins. So basically, when you hear that bell, that means it's time to hit the return handle. Now, if you're in the middle of a word, I'll show you what to do here in a second. But remember, the carriage moves only as far as you have the margins set. Okay. I'm going to move the carriage to the left because I want to open up this top, and I can't do it with the handle in the way because otherwise it would scrape this, and we don't want that to happen. So I'm going to just gently pull forward, and inside you're going to see the escapement area. Now, you're also going to see your spools. This does take a universal ribbon, and we have those on our website at jotandtittletypewriters.com. These are 2-inch spools with a 1/2-inch ribbon. Now, if you have a custom spool or you have the original metal spools and you want fresh ribbon, we have an option on our website called custom ribbon. And as long as it'll fit a 1/2-inch ribbon, we can roll your spools for you. So what you do is you just send us your spools, we roll the ribbon with it and send it back to you. I will try to remember to put a link in the description below directly to that, but you can find it under the ribbons in our shop. Okay, and by the way, we sure appreciate it if you like and subscribe, hit the notification bell and shop our website or donate a cupcake or something like that. That helps that allows me to spend the time to do these tutorial videos for you guys. So I sure appreciate it. Thanks. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, by the way, hold on. Okay, by the way, changing out the ribbon. When you pull the ribbon out, you just drop it back in just to make sure it kind of snaps all the way down. Make sure the ribbon is in all the guide wires, black on top, red on bottom. If you need to have something, a reference so you know how to thread the ribbon through, if you check the product listing link below, it'll take you to the photos and you can reference the photo I have of this area, okay? All right, when you get to the end of the ribbon spool, it's not the end of the ink. You need to reverse the direction of your ribbon. Some ribbons have this little metal grommet on it, and so it'll auto reverse, and some don't. But if your spool does not auto reverse, then you use your manual ribbon selector to reverse the direction, and you should be able to do that many times before you need to change out your ribbon. That ribbon's gonna last you a long time. Now, if you're typing and all of a sudden it just like stops on you or it just doesn't feel right, it's most likely your ribbon needs to be reversed. And so always check that. Whenever you have an issue with your typewriter, the very first thing you need to check is your ribbon direction. Okay, let's turn this on. You can hear the motor. I'm going to open this up actually. I don't know if you can see it, but the motor's right here and it's turning. Sometimes with this style of typewriter, you might hear it grinding. That means it's grinding against the cover. And so what you need to do is just gently push this way, gently. And I just kind of do this and then put it back on and make sure it's not grinding. And what's happened is either in picking it up or getting shuffled around, somehow that cover's been pushed that way or been bent in. And so you just need to kind of gently, I cannot emphasize gently, kind of just nudge until it's not grinding against that cover. Okay, color selectors over here. You have your tab. I don't know if anything's set. Let's see if it is. No, there's nothing set, so let's set something. So you just hit set. Oops. Let's try that again. All right, so this one, anyway, on yours, that's how it should work. But obviously the tab is not working on this particular one. Sorry, I don't have a better one for you. Color selector, black, red, and then, space bar, power space. There's that bell, which tells you you're at, so it's stopping on you, and then you hit margin release at the end. Most typewriters stop typing as well. This particular one, and I don't know if that's a model issue or just this particular typewriter issue, This one, it kept typing, but the carriage stopped moving. So you'll just have to see what yours does. And just know that when you hear that bell, that means you need to hit the return handle. But if you keep going, it's eventually going to stop. And that margin release is gonna release that for you. Okay, Backspace. Backspace does not erase. It just backspace, so you can type over your mistakes. Now this copy set button, it just determines how hard those type bars in there are gonna strike your paper. I don't usually notice much of a difference, but you can kind of play around with it and see if it makes a difference for you. Also, there are usually 3 keys on a typewriter that have an auto repeat. When you hold them down, that's a dash. And this is for electrics only, a period and an X. That comes in really handy for that, you know, backspace doesn't erase, but you want to cover over your mistakes. That's what that comes in handy for. Or if you want to create a divider, or some people use it for typewriter art, whatever you want. Okay, and I realized I did not show you where to find the serial number, and I think it's on the bottom. Yep. Okay, so your serial number is going to be right here. And you can look that up on typewriterdatabase.com. However, I will say that these models of Smith Corona from the 60s and 70s, a lot of times there's not a specific date. They don't have the information. So you're just going to get like a decade. So this one is most likely a 60s, just based on the front plate. I just have gotten used to how they look. It could be a 70s, but you can go and do some research on there and see what you can find out. Okay, thanks for watching. You all have a blessed day.